Again, a year with the same old notch, same old bezel, and the same old design language. Going from a rounded design to a more boxier square design that closely resembles the iPhone 5, this is not a bad design in my opinion, as I do think the square look with sharper edges is a more superior design and gives the iPhone a more premium feel, especially on this Pro model with its beautifully crafted stainless steel side. But don't expect it look good after the first time you unbox it. Fingerprint will be everywhere. So, which iPhone model should you get this year? Apple introduced 4 types of iPhone this year, starting from iPhone 12 mini all the way to the iPhone 12 Pro Max. What a mouthful. If you are used to a bigger and larger screen phone, then the 12 Pro Max will be a no-brainer. But is the $1,100 you spent on this iPhone really worth the money? I'm not going to argue is this out of $1,000 phone worth it or not, as I do have the video specifically talk about this. Check out my video, links in the description below. Thank you. So, in this video, I'll be talking about what you're getting for the $1,100 that you spent on this iPhone 12 Pro Max. There is a saying, go big or go home. And this fit this iPhone perfectly. I always start off my review with the main highlight of all smartphone, and that's the screen. Front and center component that everyone will be interacting with. Similar to Apple's previous Pro model, this is an OLED display with Apple adopted Super Retina XDR display. Just look at the size of the screen. A 6.7-inch display compared to this 5.7-inch screen. The iPhone X looks like a kid's phone. The display is as amazing as ever, even without those high refresh rate screen. This screen holds up on its own, even with all those high refresh rate display on the Android side. But I do hope Apple will adopt Pro Motion into the next iPhone, so that I could enjoy those ultra smooth motion wherever I go and make this a truly pro display. Watching video and playing games with the Pro Max is a truly amazing experience. Just look at the color and the detail of this HDR content. I can assure you, you won't be disappointed. In order to add more durability to the screen, Apple integrated a new technology called ceramic shield when crafting the display. According to Apple, this gives all iPhone 12 model a 4 times better drop performance. And I'll just have to take that word for it, as I'm not going to drop my phone just to test that. But it will definitely give us more assurance that our phone will be more likely to survive if you accidentally drop it. Next up, let's look at the performance of this A14 chip. This is the first 5nm chip in the industry, with 40% more transistor compared to the A13 chip. So, with a smaller chip, it directly translates to a greater battery life. Most, if not all high-end mobile processors are fast nowadays. So, the improvement on this A14 might not be apparent for many of us, as this iPhone X with A11 chip still feels fast for me, and doesn't feel slow compared to the A14 in this iPhone 12. Here's some benchmark to show Apple really improved their processor throughout the year. But as Apple keep improving and introducing new features on every new iOS version, older chip may be too slow to support it and result in a drop in support from Apple. But according to Apple track record, they will keep their device updated for around 5 years, so getting the latest chip will be more future-proof. So, in terms of performance, all 4 models of iPhone 12 will be smooth as butter. One of the main reasons going for the Pro Max, aside from the obvious advantage like bigger battery and bigger screen, is the camera system. This is the first time Apple put a different camera lens between both Pro models. The iPhone Pro Max will generally take an overall better photo and video due to its larger sensor and larger pixel that will result in a better low-light photo. Here are some of the comparison photo and video taken from the iPhone X and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. You guys be the judge. Other than bigger lens and pixel, the Pro Max also introduced a sensor shift OIS that moves the entire sensor around for a much better stabilized photo and video. A longer focal length on the telephoto lens will provide us a better zoom. Apple camera system is always graded as one of the best camera in any smartphone. So, if the sample that I just showed you doesn't convince you, check out a review from DxOMark that gives the Pro Max a 130 overall score. And I do recommend anyone like to have a more in-depth look at every aspect of the camera. But in my common eye, every photo that I took with the Pro Max is great without any manual tinkering. And Apple camera processing system did a very good job of processing the photo at the back end. Color of the photo it took is true to life without any oversaturation. Overall, I'm quite satisfied with every photo I took with the Pro Max, even though this is a new number in the iPhone generation, from 11 to 12. The main difference between these two devices are all 3 points that I mentioned just now. Even Apple itself supports this claim, and this can be easily as the S generation. But since the design has changed from rounded corner to a square corner, it deserves a new number in Apple book. Not that I have the right to determine the number sequence of any iPhone, I just think the 12 is not a significant improvement from the 11. So, before the conclusion of this video, I will say this. If you are currently using the 11 Pro Max, there's no reason whatsoever to upgrade to the Pro Max. Now, let's wrap up the video by going through some of the improvement in the iPhone 12 series model. 5G is a major improvement from 4G, but it will not be so relevant for the next few years, as not every major country in the world has the infrastructure to implement it. And as for my country, Malaysia, has pushed 5G back to 2023, and by the time, we all might already upgrade our phone. So, 5G is not a must. As for the battery, it does its job quite nicely and will hold up my entire day of gaming and video consumption easily. A+ in the battery department, but I can't say the same for a small 12 Pro model. But one thing for sure, the Pro Max is a battery champ. MagSafe also make a return and enable up to a 15W charging speed. Slightly slower than a wire charge through Lightning, but it adds more convenience. One aspect I would like to complain is that the Face ID used in the iPhone still doesn't support other orientation like the iPad Pro, but I digress. The iPhone 12 Pro Max is definitely a beautiful phone, and they have been carefully crafted every aspect of it. Everything screams high-end and bleeding edge, and it shows on the receipt that you pay for it. Aside from the huge notch, of course, if you are willing to pay outward of $1,000 for an everyday phone, the iPhone is a great choice for everyone. They don't want to tinker around their phone and would like the phone to just work. Sure, there will be some limitation held back by the software, but iOS has come a long way, and with iOS 14, I'm sure some of the limitations in the past you faced have been solved. So, this is my full review of this iPhone 12 Pro Max. I have been enjoying my time testing and using it for the past few weeks. Aside from, this is a really big phone. But once you go big, you can't go back. Thanks for watching. Ciao!